IGN Rewind Theater is presented by Remember Me. Coming to consoles and PC June 4th. Remix memories, change the world.
What's up, guys? My name is Mitch Dyer. I'm sitting here with Destin Legary.
Hey, Mitch.
Hey, Destin, I want you to tell me every second of this Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag trailer. I want you to pick it apart.
Okay, well, right away, let's set it up with a little bit of history.
Okay.
We believe that this game takes place in 1715.
Yes.
And there were some notable events in 1715.
Hit me. What do
like
you got?
On July 29th, 10 treasure galleons sank, and we'll go over that in a little
Like
bit.
this one? Like this galleon here?
No. There's a shot of all 10 of them later, but we'll get to that. And then on July 30th, also a Spanish gold and silver fleet sank. Interesting.
Destin, you're so smart.
Now, I talked to Colin a little bit, and he said, he did a previous Rewind Theater, and he said that this game is a lot about privateering.
Yes.
And privateers, not pirates, privateers were hired by the government to legally go sink other ships.
Yeah.
And we hear the main protagonist talking about that a little bit here, like, I worked for a king and stuff like that.
Yes.
And, yeah, so, like, let's go back to the beginning and start going through this frame by frame now that we've set up the history.
So we have dead guy in the water.
Yeah, so the dead guy is wearing a French coat.
Yes.
Actually, because it's white, and we know that the French wore white. And so it's a dead French guy.
Dead French people confirmed.
Yep.
Sorry, France.
Yeah. And right here we see a sunken ship and a shark, indicating that there's going to be some shark combat.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a look at that in the debut trailer. There was like an underwater boat and a shark, and you could see Edward Kenway swimming around. And there is underwater exploration, so surely this will be one of many ships you'll explore.
Well, what I think this is I think this is the aftermath. What we're seeing there, if you go back to that sunken ship, is the aftermath of this war that we see there.
So you think maybe we're looking at this a little bit in reverse?
Yeah, it wasn't a war. So, like, this is the aftermath. This is all the sunken ships. Yeah. And I'll talk more about that later near the end of the trailer.
Okay.
But let's move forward here. And then here at 21 frames, we see that there's this ship in a hurricane, or what looks like a hurricane.
It's a big storm of some kind.
Yeah,
for sure.
And those 10 treasure galleons that sunk were believed to be sunk by a hurricane. So I think that Ubisoft is having a little bit of fun with history here, saying that they were actually attacked and all that gold was stolen.
Oh, man.
And we hear Edward Kenway talking at the end of the trailer about taking back what is rightfully his.
Money.
Yeah, exactly. And,
cash rules everything around me.
One.
Edward Kenway, I think, said that.
So if you can go back to 22 seconds really quick.
Oh, that's like way far back, Destin. I'm at 30.
Press the J key.
I'm all over it. We're rewinding. Going back in time. 22?
Yeah. So right here we see Kenway.
Yeah, it's definitely Edward.
Yeah, I can't really tell if this is him when he's younger, but it looks like that the mechanics are really the same. Like, he's being shot at and he's going to duck.
Yeah, he's going to duck. Very similar to Connor in AC3.
Similar to Assassin's Creed 3. But he looks pretty young here.
Yeah, he
looks... we can't really see his face, but, like, just...
We've really only seen one Edward. I don't know how... If AC3 is going to do a thing... Or, sorry, Assassin's Creed 4 is going to do something similar to Assassin's Creed 3 where we see him grow up and stuff. But for the most part, we've seen him at one set time in his life.
So there they are, you know, blowing up a ship. And there we go, underwater again. Now, pause right here.
Yes.
We got some red coats, and I think they're British for one reason. If you go forward a little bit, you see that flag up there, how it has a red top?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of indicative of, like, indicative of what the British would
We're learning a lot of things today about English and piracy, privateering.
Yeah, and I can't tell if that guy on the left is fighting with...
No, so I'm pretty sure that that's one of Edward's crew.
Edward Kenway?
You get a better look at... I think it might even be the same guy with the big red bandana.
And I think he may have been a freed slave.
Maybe.
Because there was a lot of slave trading going on during this time period. And
we'll come back
we'll see how they talk about that. Controversial.
You get a look at the combat a little bit here. You can just see how brutal Edward is. Uppercuts, knees to the face.
Yeah, a lot of standard Assassin's Creed stuff.
Yeah.
And here we go. He's diving off the ship right into the water. I believe that's his ship that he's diving off of in that scene. So right here he's fighting some white coats. We've already established that the white coats are the French.
But we don't... That's in French. French.
We don't know where he is, but we do know, if you keep going a little bit...
It looks like he's...
that he's using two swords.
Yes, that's Edward Kenway's deal. Is he dual wields?
Yeah,
and also
dual wields everything.
Yes, guns, swords, and also like just look at how brutal he is. You just ram that in that dude's mouth.
Yep.
Like Jesus.
Back mouth.
Relax, man. Look at it. He's just screaming. He's a savage.
Yeah. There, he's taken everybody out.
Yep.
And then we hear some dialogue from him in just a second. I once sailed for a king. And then we see some ships, and we see... Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. We see an older man. So this is either... Stop.
Wait, you think this is an older man?
Well, his hair is really gray, so like he's a few years older.
I think you might be seeing things.
Well,
I think he
this
looks...
is either Edward Kenway a little bit in the future, or the king that he worked for.
This is certainly Edward.
Kenway.
Yeah, I mean you can see that is Edward's assassin outfit. He's got the red sash. He's got the vest. It's just I think it's just him with his hood down.
But he looks aged. He looks aged, and as we've seen in like later scenes, he's an older character. We haven't really played.
Yeah, he's probably in his 30s.
Except for like in Revelations where he played as
your attention
old
to
man
detail
Ezio.
Is maybe greater than mine. I only see blonde hairs.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just him and his blonde hair.
There he is again. It's just panning over him. He's there at the helm of the ship.
Yeah. So, do you think they're going to this island?
I mean, AC4 is all about exploration, right? Like, there's 50-something locations. You go to a bunch of different cities. Nassau,
there's Havana,
Kingston,
Kingston, and I think he was going to Nassau in that shot. Nassau. Is that how you say it? And right here we see another Frenchman, and he's talking about, I worked for privileged men.
Maybe the French.
Yeah.
Our main man, Edward.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy really gets it. Like, this is such a brutal kill.
This is a great kill.
Some, like, really vicious kills.
I think the dual wielding is going to add a lot. And if we can go back to that shot, I actually believe it's in Havana, which is in Cuba. And I'm basing that off of the architecture that we can see.
Shingle rooftops.
Yeah.
Ubisoft has laid out before, and we've spoken at length about which city is which. One of them has, like, jungle in the town.
And if you pause it right there, he's talking about his crew, and there's that man
from
earlier. If you just leave it there,
he's
so
a little bit
do the womp womp on the guy.
Okay.
If you can't figure out what we're
Which
talking
guy?
about,
Sorry.
it's the one character full frame right now, and he has some scars. He's seen some
He does.
things.
He's seen some stuff, man. He's had hard life.
Yeah. Now move forward. Pause it right here.
Bow.
So go forward just a little bit more so that pulls out of the way. So
get out of here, post.
No, go back a little
bit.
A little bit. Okay, right here. How many ships are there, Mitch?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10 ships. Correct. And
how about that?
I'm thinking that he's talking about taking it back. So I think this is the ships, the 10 ships that sank.
Yes.
With a ton of gold on
all
them,
the gold.
And he's taking it. He's going to take it back.
Which makes sense, because one of the things you can do in AC4 is you can just scout out ships. Like, you can use your spyglass to look at other ships, and gold is one of the things, right? So gold is clearly important to this character, who is a greedy, brutal
guy. And I think this is a major encounter in the game.
Could
be. This is
big
probably a cutscene that is about to, open up into a full-out war. So there's a nice shot of Havana again. We're basing that, of course, off the rooftops, the clay rooftops.
Yeah,
and he's on a viewpoint.
Yeah, he's synchronizing right now.
Mm-hmm. So viewpoints are back, which will unlock.
Shocking twist, big revelation here. IGN Rewind Theater breaking all the news.
Yeah. So there he's fighting a redcoat, but I don't think he's in Havana anymore. I think this is a flash to either Kingston or Nassau, and I say that because of the buildings. Now I'm going to say Kingston just because the buildings look nicer.
Yeah, they do. They're brick, right? That one's clearly a big brick building.
So
there's
they've
like
been definitely
homes in the background.
Nassau is like the pirate city.
NASA,
like NASA.
Like space. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay, and then here I don't.
This
know
is actually like a really cool thing.
This could be NASA. But
you're also seeing like a little bit deeper look at the dual combat here, dual wielding rather. Like he's firing off one shot over there.
Go forward a little bit. There's a great shot of the dual wielding if you can rewind for the womp womps.
Let's find a nice
one. There you
go.
It is. Womp womp. Dual wielding pistols.
Yep. Nothing new there.
I wonder if that's going to change multiplayer at all, though.
Maybe. I'm not sure if you can do multiple targets, and if you can in multiplayer, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a special class. That could get really interesting, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you're running around with 2 pistols and you can target me and somebody else.
Yeah. Take out 2 targets at once, or take out the pursuer.
Yeah.
But the reason I think that could be NASA is because the Redcoats invaded NASA.
Okay.
And it was only established for a short period of time before, they kind of had to abandon it.
Sure.
Anyway, let's move forward. Minor detail.
Fun facts with Destin Liguri.
Yeah.
Underwater exploration.
So go back and freeze frame it on that guy swimming through the water.
I mean, that's Edward.
Yeah, that's definitely Edward. And Mitch, you got to get the freeze frames for the Womp Womps.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Anyway, there's
swimming guy.
There's the swimming guy swimming around. Definitely, we already know there's underwater exploration. Yep. We saw him open a chest and some other ones, and they're showing it again. So we're back in Havana, which is in Cuba. Why are the French there?
I don't know. Did they have a history there? I'm not a historical doctor. Dustin. I don't know these things.
I'm not a history buff either, but it seems like the French have invaded Havana for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, here they are again.
Mm-hmm. And they're cutting back and forth between Havana and Kingston.
Yeah, they're jumping
all
all over the place.
It's like this is either Kingston or NASA.
I think I'm having a hard time remembering off the top of my head, which is making me look like a damn fool, Destin. But one of them is like a rundown slum of a city, and I think it's Nassau because it's the pirates the pirates took it over. It's like a pirate haven.
Yeah, so I think this is NASA, and that is a cutscene of when the Redcoats came to invade and get them out of there. And he's dealing with them appropriately.
Yes.
Get out of my house.
This is my
That's
house.
What he's saying. It's put his fist into his mouth.
That is
an amazing shot.
Oh man, that's
all right.
Look at that. God.
Anyway, let's move on from that.
It's like the cover of God Hand, Destin.
Yeah. And that
socking that dude in the face.
He is not giving them
That's
any
like
mercy.
This is like particularly vicious.
Stabs him, and shoots him.
Well, he's got a sword in the man's eye.
Yeah.
He's done. Like the job is complete.
Yeah.
No, let me just one more thing. Bah!
Well, he's got to get him off his sword, right?
Jeez.
So right here, that's interesting. This is the first blue coat we've seen in the whole trailer, and I think
this is almost certainly a historical figure that I am unaware of.
I believe it's Blackbeard.
Okay. No, Blackbeard you'll get a way better look at.
Yes,
later.
you see him later in the trailer, but this could be him again or somebody else. I'm not really sure, but because we only see one blue coat, and it seems to be Blackbeard every time, I'm thinking maybe this is him.
Yep.
Also, the crew on the ship, they're not wearing colors.
Yep, they're just
at all.
Just some
so
dudes.
This could be Edward's ship, and Blackbeard has brought this Frenchman here to maybe interrogate him.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Stealing a ship from him, perhaps.
That could be somebody else completely, though. So this is the Hurricane.
Mm-hmm. Destin's using big air quotes that you can't see right now.
This is the
It's
Hurricane
very effective.
that we believe is where they're taking out the 10 ships and getting the gold from them.
Visually, this is just really excellent, too. This is not like anything you've seen in an Assassin's game, which is great. Mm-hmm. I love seeing totally new spaces and themes and atmospheres. And this is like, there you go. There's your English flag.
Yeah, so right here, you get a great shot of the flag on the ship, and you see it is sinking. Definitely
It sure is.
Yeah.
What's left of it.
And that's why at the beginning I thought the aftermath of this is what we
here.
saw at the beginning. Very similar shot to the very beginning of the whole Rewind.
Yeah,
theater.
I mean, it's totally possible that when you start out, like maybe that's a fairly early mission where you just, one of the first things you do is sink and rob 10 ships. And
Yeah, and maybe one interesting thing happened many interesting things happened, but one big event happened in 1715, and that was
what do you got?
On September 1st. King Louis XIV died.
Is he the French king?
I don't know. No,
I'm testing your historical knowledge.
King Louis XIV. Anyway,
Louis was probably the French king that Edward served.
He died, so I'm wondering if maybe they're going to set up a Templar storyline with King Louis XIV.
Almost certainly.
And like he has the Apple of Eden or something like that.
Also, you're getting a bit of a look here. Just it's Edward and his men invading a ship. There's his crew.
Yeah.
Crew essentially sounds like your Brotherhood.
Yeah, this is a totally different scene though because it's sunny, it's nice.
Yeah.
And then here they are. Go back a little bit there, Mitch, to this scene right here. Just stop.
Oh, you mean with the ruins?
Yeah, with the ruins. Maybe we're going to be doing some tomb raiding again.
Yeah,
no
it sounds like that's
Croft,
coming back.
Just Edward Kenway.
I mean, in Assassin's Creed 2 had some really great stuff, right? Like almost Prince of Persia-esque platforming sequences where you would explore these like really amazing scenic tombs and raid them, and for lack of a better term, I guess. But you would just
those were
loot
some
them
of
and
the best missions
they were
in the game.
Awesome.
Yeah,
and they've been missing sadly since.
Yeah,
and I hope this is where they decide to bring it back.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Well, since what do you mean since?
Since basically AC2, they kind of went away.
Oh,
they weren't as
okay,
excellent.
I see what you're saying.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, they were in AC3.
Yeah, but they were not as good.
Some of them were good in AC3.
They were all right.
Like you go to the.
Look at this! Look at this architecture. This is a
yeah,
French building.
If
I've ever seen one.
Very much so. I think this is in Havana, though.
Okay.
Just
did they colonize there at all?
Well, I mean that's where we've seen the Frenchmen the whole time in Havana, and they're wearing white, so it's easy for them to surrender. Anyway, moving on.
The French, Destin's so funny. That's like a really great shot I just like as somebody I really appreciate trailers.
It's a pretty murder.
It's just nice. It's if you're gonna do a murder, make it look nice. Give it a nice view.
Good job, Ubisoft.
Again with just the insanely brutal kills.
So there's Blackbeard.
The guy.
So
See, you think so?
rewind.
So
this
what we're
is definitely Blackbeard.
Okay, so what's happening here? You might be right. This might be Blackbeard as a young man.
Yes.
There. See,
look at the eyes and the nose. It's the same character in all three of these shots, and it's Blackbeard.
My counter argument is that this dude has a scar on his face, right on top of his forehead.
I'll move forward.
And the homeboy here does not.
Ah, okay, that's a good catch.
And we go again, and then there's Blackbeard. It's totally possible that's the same dude getting older.
So how does Blackbeard's scar go away? That's a really good catch, Mitch. I never noticed that.
I'm not sure if that's a different dude or what.
We know
yeah.
these two shots are definitely Blackbeard, but then who's that guy?
Yeah, they must be trying to relate them somehow.
Yeah, maybe it was just.
Maybe it's just a facial feature.
Yeah.
Edward looking all menacing.
No, you know what? The dude with the scar, maybe that's Edward Kenway.
Think so. Dude's got black hair.
Well, he's wearing a cloak in like every other shot.
Well, yeah, but Edward is he's a gnome blonde.
Why would they try and trick us?
I don't think.
Why would they do this transition and do with the scar?
This might just be like, hey,
Blackbeard?
look at these cast members. Here's historical figure 1, historical figure 2, historical figure 3.
Ah, yeah, I think
because Edward he's like well known among the pirate community. Those could just be famous pirates. Again, just a nice hero shot.
Oh yeah,
so good. Is that all you got, Destin?
There's one more thing. If you keep playing the trailer, no, keep playing.
Okay. The little postscript.
Shark combat.
Shark combat. So this is
underwater
Edward
combat.
Swimming around, no shirt. Edward doesn't need a shirt.
And he probably should have wore something
because
the shark is not like him in his territory. So let's take a look at that, and we will end on the big shark bite.
I love it.
I don't know how he's gonna heal up those wounds. Sharks have like multiple layers of teeth.
It's true. You don't really come back from this attack.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll have one arm for the rest of the game.
Maybe that's where he got a scar when he was young.
Destin, thank you for stopping by to tell me everything about history, and we had a nice educational lesson here talking about Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Yeah.
For more on Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag and shark attacks, you can keep it locked to IGN.